Hello everyone and welcome back to today's video. Today we are taking a look at how to create a FivePD callout from start to finish. The reason I'm doing this is because I did a whole series on creating a FivePD callout and it's a bit outdated now. So we're going to do it from start to finish for the current version. This is not version 2.0. Version 2.0 will have a brand new API once it comes out, and please do not ask when. I have no idea. You can just keep an eye on their Twitter for more information on that. But this is for the current version. So we're going to go over it. We're going to do a simple tutorial today. I'm going to go over what programs you need, what framework you need, where you can get the API documentation, and then we'll get into the callout, creating it through the program, and then building it to a file and getting it in game. This will not be an advanced tutorial. We're going to do one callout based on a stolen police car. That is it. So let's go ahead and get started. So the program I'm going to be using today is Writer. This is a paid program. They do have a free trial if you're interested in it. You can also use VS Code, but it's a little different. I have always worked with the JetBrains kind of suite of resources, so that is what I'm going to be using in this video. It, in my opinion, works a lot better than VS Code. I like it a lot better. There's other tutorials on YouTube if you want to use VS Code. And then you're going to need the Net Framework 4.7.2. This is what I've been using to build all of my callouts. I know some people who use other versions, but this is the one that you should be using to go ahead and build callouts. And then the documentation is also here on their website. I will leave a link to all of this down in the description, so you can go ahead and look at this. This tells you kind of what your methods are, how you spawn vehicles, how you add questions, all of that good stuff. Can be gotten from here. And then there is the Nugget repository that you can go ahead and use. We're going to be doing it through JetBrains Writer, so you don't have to do anything manually from here. But if you have to do manually or using command line or packet manager or something, you can do it through here. Anyway, so I'm going to assume you have downloaded and installed both this and the NetWriter framework. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So when you open up Writer, this is kind of what you see. You see all your previous callouts, where they are on your desktop and all that good stuff. You're going to go ahead and press New Solution. And from this New Solution, you're going to go over to the side here under Net Framework and click Class Library. Make sure that Framework 4.7.2 is selected. All of this kind of looks the same. Your solution directory will be different, and your solution name and project name will be different. When you change your solution name, this is going to be whatever your callout pack you want to call it. It's not going to be what appears inside of the game, but this is going to be what appears in your file name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name it YouTube Tutorial 2023. Keep it pretty simple there, and go ahead and press Create. There's a couple things we're going to have to do once we create this. You can see it's going to load the environment in the background and all that good stuff, and you can see it has a example class in here. So what we're going to do is this is going to be our example class. And if this pops up Microsoft Defender, just click automatically. It will pop up a little warning and you'll press yes. We're going to ignore this class right now. We're not going to do anything with it. We're going to do a couple things first. So we go down here to where you see this plus more tools window on the left-hand side here. And you're going to find where it says Nugget. And we're going to go ahead and open it. It's now going to pop down here, but that's fine. And then in this window, you're going to search for FivePD. And you're going to see FivePD.net and go ahead and press this green button that says install FivePD.net 1.3.0 in all projects, and go ahead and press install. This is going to allow this library to be used. It contains the APIs from CitizenFX, so you do not have to import that yourself. You can still use the CitizenFX client and all of that good stuff as well for more advanced callouts. And then what we're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to click where this second, not your first folder, but the second one for your project, and go to Properties. And in here, you're going to see Assembly Name. And what you're going to do is you're just going to add a .net to the end of this, because FivePD loads .net DLLs, not .dll. So you're just going to have an .net and press OK. That's all you have to do. It's that simple to set up your project directory in your project. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new class. And this class, let's go ahead and do Stolen Police Car, because that's what our callout's going to be. And we can delete our existing class here. Now, inside of our Stolen Police Car class here, there's a couple things that we're going to have to do. The first thing is we're going to have to actually define it as a callout class. And what you're going to do is you're just going to define it as callout. It's very simple to do. You just do the hyphen dot thing and then callout. I don't know what to call it. I'm a little tired today. And then above this, what you're going to do is you're then going to add a callout property. This is where you're going to set the name, your company name, and the version. So we'll do callout properties. And then this is where you're going to add it. So the first one's going to be the name. So we're going to do stolen police car. And then it's going to be your company name. So for mine, it's BGHD development. And then it's going to be the version. So our version is going to be 1.0. Just like that. Stolen police car, BGHD development, version 1.0. There you go. That's the start to our class. Now, if you're wondering what that pop-up is that it kind of tried to autofill, that's GitHub AI Pilot or Copilot, whatever you call it. I won't be using that in this video. I have a lot of plugins installed on here, but yours should look similar to this. You probably won't get the autofill unless you have it installed as well. You do not need it installed. You don't have to worry about that. Now we're going to define two variables for our callout. We're going to define a car and a suspect. So what we're going to do is we're going to do vehicle, car, and you can go ahead and import. If you press Alt Enter on that red line here, it's going to import the needed libraries. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do ped suspect, and it's going to go ahead and import that as well. Those are our two different variables we're going to need for this. And now we're going to make a public stolen police car, which matches the class name. And this is where we're going to define our callout start locations and the name, description, response code, and start distance. So for this, we're going to get any random location from the map. So we're going to do random RND, or you can just call it random. It's whatever you want. Equals new random. Make sure you put all of the imports. So Alt Enter on it, and you can see import missing references in file, and then it will go ahead and import. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set it as a random offset of different variables between 1 and 700 for the location. So we're going to do float, and then we're going to do offset x equals random dot next, and we'll do 100, 700. And then we're going to do one more of these. We're going to do float offset y equals random, and then this time it's the same thing, 100 to 700. Very simple there. And now this is where we're actually going to set the location. So if you were going to set an exact location, you wouldn't do this. What you would do is you would set it as the actual location you want. And I'll give you an example at the end of this video for that. But what we're going to do for this is where we're going to initiate the callout. So we're going to do initiate info, and then we're going to do world.get next position on street, game.playerped, make sure you don't misspell it, playerped, and then you're going to do get offset position, and then in here you're going to do new vector3, so that's the type of coordinates we're using, and then it's going to be your offset x by your offset y with a 0 of rotation, just like that. And if playerped is not importing correctly, sometimes this happens, what I like to do is I like to manually import things at the top here. So you can see we have Citizen FX Core. We're going to import Citizen FX Native. And we're also going to import the Five API utilities, because that's what we're going to be using in a moment. So FivePD.API.utilities. And if it's still not importing correctly, sometimes you just have to mess with it a little bit. So you can see, there we go. Something was misspelled or something was weird there. So there we go. Everything's imported correctly now. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now you can see GitHub Copilot kind of knows what I'm going to do next is I'm going to set a short name. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to do short name equals the name of our callout. So in this case, it's stolen police car. Make sure N is capitalized because it's all capitalized there, short name. And then you can see it's already suggesting what we do next. We're going to do callout description. A police car has been stolen. Very simple, very easy. And then we're going to need a response code. Should it be code 1, 2, or 3? In this case, it's code 3 because you want to get there pretty quickly if someone stole a police car. And then you have your start distance. Now, this is where it's going to be a little complicated if you're using OneSync. So with OneSync, you want to keep this kind of a lower value because otherwise it's going to despawn before you get there. So I recommend something between 120 to 250. That seems to be the amount that I have had luck with OneSync. Some people can put it higher, some people put it lower. It's personal preference. I keep it around then. So for usage in this, we'll keep it to 200 just to keep it simple. All right, we are done with that section. There is technically 2 more sections we need. We're going to do the easy one first. We're going to create a public async override, and this is going to be a task for onAccept. Now, in the past, when the videos originally came out, and you can import the missing reference, by the way, When the videos first came out for me doing callout tutorials, you used to put everything in the onAccept method. That is not how it works anymore. Due to OneSync, you're going to go ahead and add everything to the onStart method. So in onAccept, there's only two things you're going to need. You're going to go ahead and initiate the blip, and you're going to update the data for the callout. It's that simple. That's all you have in this one little place here. You're going to keep that there. I like keeping that at the bottom just to keep it there. All right, now we can go ahead and make the onStart method. So once again, we do public async, and this time we're going to do void onStart, and we're going to grab the ped player because we're going to interact with that player ped. Inside of here is where we actually are going to do our callout code. So we're going to do base onStart and then player, define the player. This will make sure it starts for the player when you start. And this is where we're going to spawn all of our things. So we're going to set our suspect, and our suspect is going to equal an await spawn ped method from FivePD, random utilities, because that's how we're going to do it, and then grit random ped. This way you don't have to define a specific hash or anything. And we're going to set the location of our callout +1. And the reason why I do +1 is sometimes it can glitch out or have problems or something like that. I don't like when that happens, so I go ahead and keep that. If it errors like this, the reason why it's erroring like this is because I didn't actually set it correctly. So it's supposed to be get random ped, nothing inside those brackets, comma, location, and then +1. So now it's going to spawn that ped. What we're going to do here is we're going to have them always keep their task. So when we set them a task, they're not going to lose that. And we're also going to block permanent events. This is just to make sure they don't do their own thing and they don't worry about things. So once we do that, we know that AI aren't going to just run away. And you can see my IDE here is already suggesting what we're going to do next. And then that's going to be spawning a vehicle. In this case, I'm going to accept its suggestion because this is the right method. We're going to use the spawn vehicle, and we're going to spawn a police car at that location. Now, if you wanted to use a custom car or something like that, you can change this vehicle hash to whatever that car is going to be. You could also create it as a list at the top of your callout if you're interested in spawning that. But in our case, we only want it to be a police car, so this is going to work fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have to set that player into the vehicle. So you can see, I don't even have to, I can just talk about it. The IDE is already suggesting it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the suspect into the vehicle in the driver's seat. That's exactly how you do it. You just set them into the vehicle. Very easy, very simple. Let's see. Oh, you can see here, it has an idea, but we're not going to actually use this. What we're going to use is we're going to use a hash code to set the driving speed. The reason why we're going to do this is because it's a little bit more customizable for what you're doing. I like this one because it's easier to set when we use the API, and I'm going to show you a cool little tool. Here's the driving style calculator for GTA 5. I'll leave a link down to the description for this as well. You can go ahead and click what you want. So I don't want this one to do anything. So I want it to be reckless, and I want it to go ahead and take the shortest path. We don't need that. Allow going the wrong way. You can go ahead and do that. You can stop at stoplights. You can do whatever you want here. And this is going to give you a number. And this number is going to be your API driving. I have one that I already like using that I've used for pretty much all of my callouts. So we're going to use that today rather than picking one from there. But you can use whatever you want. We're going to do API. And this is going to call directly from FiveM. And we're going to do set drive task driving style. And in here, you're going to do suspect.getHashCode. This is going to get the suspect, and it's going to set that suspect's driving style. And this is going to be whatever number you pulled from that thing. For me, the number I like using is 524852. And this is just a reckless driving type style. And this means when they drive, they're going to drive very recklessly. Very easy. Now we're going to set a task for the suspect to actually drive. So we're going to do suspect, and we're going to do flee from. We're going to do task.flee from. And we're going to say player. So now the suspect is in the car. They can drive recklessly, and now their task is to flee from our player. And we're going to have to attach a pursuit to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do pursuit.register pursuit, and then the suspect. So this is going to make it so the FivePD plugin and a FivePD system knows we are pursuing this player, because they're not going to stop. We don't want them to stop. And we're going to go ahead and attach a blip to that suspect. We can also attach a blip to the car if you want by doing car attach blip. It's very simple. That's the callout. We have just created our first callout. It's very simple. We have our onStart method. We have our start method. We have our class. we are technically good to go here, which is pretty exciting. So to build the project, you're going to go up to this little place and press build solution. By default, it's going to build into the debug category. That is fine. You can open this by going and right clicking and going to Explorer. In here, you can go into your thing, go to objective or bin, either one works, and find debug. In here, you can see YouTube tutorial 2023.net.dll. This is going to be the file for your callout. It's drag and drop, pretty simple. So let's go ahead and go into our FiveM server. If we go into our server data, resources, find FivePD, and go into callouts, you can delete whatever callouts you have in here, or you can keep the ones you want if you want to just test those, and you can paste in that file. Once you paste in this file, all you have to do is start up your FiveM server, join, and we can test it out. So let's go ahead and start up our FiveM server. There we go. It has started. FivePD has started. I don't think it tells you what callouts are loaded in console. It tells you in-game console. So let's go ahead and open up FiveM and launch that, and let's make sure we have everything set up properly. So I'll let you know when I'm in game. All right, we are in game here. And if I go ahead and press F8, if I do restart FivePD, let it load, you can see loaded stolen police car 1.0 by BK to development. There's our callout. So if we go ahead and press F11, go on duty, go to our debug menu, force a callout, stolen police car, and press enter, you can see we are now on that callout. Let's go ahead and spawn a vehicle, make sure our waypoint works. I should probably spawn a police vehicle. That would make the most sense for this. There's emergency. I don't know why. Oh, this is the wrong server. I'm not in the right server. Anyway, let's go ahead. You can see the waypoint did work. Let's go down and around the road till we get a little closer. Here we go. I don't even have sirens on this thing. This is my test server. This isn't actually my recording server, so none of my resources are on here. You can see we are on scene of a stolen police car. Now, if we go over here, you can see no car spawned. This is a common FivePD bug. And if we go in and press F8, you can see there may or may not be errors. So what we're going to do is we're going to code for callout and just call it again. Sometimes this is all that it takes to go ahead and force the callout to start working again. It's a random bug within FivePD I've experienced a couple of times now. It's kind of just a random thing, so you can not worry about it too much. Just respawn the callout. If it starts happening over and over again, you may actually have problems with your callout code. So if we go over here, you can see there is still no car. So we may actually have a problem in our code. And what we're going to do to check out this is we're going to go back into our file here, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at how we're doing things just to confirm everything is perfect. So we see public async void on start, and this is where our problem is. You can see we didn't add an override. So public async override void on start, and we'll go ahead and add that. Now it should work. So let's go ahead and build it again. And we're going to go back into our resources FivePD folder, callouts, and we're going to replace this. So we're going to replace this with our newly built file. And when we get back in game, we're going to restart FivePD. We're going to go ahead and force our callout. And let's go ahead and drive over to where the callout is. And you can see our little blip spawn there, and I can see the police car that spawned down there. So now we know it is working properly. That's how you debug. You kind of just go through it and make sure everything is how it's supposed to be set. And this person bailed out because I hit his car, and obviously you can go now arrest him if he stops. There we go. So we're going to arrest this guy. Go ahead and handcuff him. There we go. Suspect's been cuffed. And we can code for the callout. The car remains. The suspect remains. Pretty cool indeed, right? Let's go back to the code here, and we can go ahead and take a look at how you can set other locations. So to set locations, rather than doing it here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a locations graph. In this case, I have a location of every single store in 24/7 store or other type of store around the map. Not everyone, but a lot of them. And then rather than doing random down here, we're still going to have the random, but we're going to get rid of these float offsets. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and have a vector set. So I'm going to remove this. I didn't want to put that in there. We're going to do vector 3. This is going to grab the chord. And then we're going to do selected location. And selected location is going to equal our locations. And we're going to do random next locations.length. So it's going to select a random location from this location grouping. And we can get rid of all of this code in here and do in info selected location. So this is now going to pick something from here. So if you only wanted one, you would just have to delete all this and leave it as 1. Now you have one location for this callout to spawn at every single time. Very simple, Very easy. So hopefully this taught you how to create your callouts and how to debug a little bit, and then how to set your locations. If this has been helpful, please subscribe and like. A full new series will be coming when 2.0 comes out. I just wanted to get this out so you knew what to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.